folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again, and this time we're going to look at game number 7 in our 20 from 1989 series, and this was a pioneer of full-color polygon gaming, and this is a racing game. It is called Hard Drivin. This was created by Atari Games, and it came in a sit-down model and more of a stand-up type of model. But I remember seeing this, and I was completely blown away by this. Color polygons back then were really a new concept, or at least for most people. Atari Games did try iRobot back in 1983, which was incredibly impressive. If you've never seen that, check it out. Well, this game has a steering wheel, a brake pedal, gas pedal, and a gear shift, and 5 gears, but you will get the option to do automatic or manual transmission. I'm only doing it in automatic. But the goal of the game is to get through one full lap, and you will have one checkpoint to restore your time. And you can choose to do a speed track or the stunt track. And you want to get your full lap done in a certain amount of time. If you do, and that is like, I think it's a minute 38. Yeah, you need to beat a minute 38. And then another driver will challenge you, and his name is the Phantom Photon. And you have a chance to beat him, and if you do, you are recognized as like the Hard Drivin Champion. This had multiple home ports. I remember playing the Sega Genesis one, and it was not very good, but that's no fault of the Genesis. It was too tough of hardware to emulate. And this game's controls are pretty hard to emulate. The steering is very sensitive. When you're driving in this game, note that if you turn the wheel too sharply, you can easily spin out, and you can fly off the road, and you will have 10 seconds to try to get back on. If you fail to do that, then the game automatically puts you back on the track. But you can choose to do the speed track or the stunt track by either going straight or turning to the right shortly after the beginning. If you face the Phantom Photon, you will have to do the stunt track, or the game says you have to. Yeah, I'm going to do auto, not stick. But to start off, you have to turn the key, and to do that, there is a one-player start button, I think. But for the MAME emulated one, I pressed the number 1 key. And we're going to do the speed track. Like I said, if you turn the steering wheel too sharply, you can easily spin out. And I was afraid of doing that, so I drove kind of overly cautious at times. To start off the speed track, there is a tight turn, a long, ongoing tight turn. So beginners are really going to have a hard time with this. And then you go under this open bridge, and that open bridge is part of the stunt track. Yeah, both the speed track and the stunt track have a single checkpoint and then a finish line. Once you cross the finish line, then you will get to keep going and try to accrue more points. There's a checkpoint, and the checkpoint will restore somewhere around like 30 seconds. If you crash, you will see your windshield crack, and then you will see an instant replay animation of the crash that happened. That is really cool, even though it's very crude and very glitchy sometimes. I appreciate what Atari Games was trying to do, but it's not always very polished. And there I finished that speed track, and I get to go through again. And again, if you want to do the if you want to do the stunt track, and there I spun out rather badly. If you want to do the stunt track, you just turn right at the first opportunity from shortly after you begin. And we will look at the stunt track in a little bit. But if you want to face the Phantom Photon, you have to get your time under 1:38. This was no fault of Bandicam here. This was MAME just kind of glitching. Stop it. Yeah, there. That was really annoying. When you face the Phantom Photon, there are some rules. You will only get 10 seconds total of time to get back onto the road. And it says you have to do the stunt track, but you can break through some signs that are in the way on the road, on the way to the speed track, and you can break through them and just play the speed track. But I don't know for sure if it'll still count. On the Genesis, it will count, and that will actually be an easier way to go than the stunt track. But in the arcade, at least, I have no chance at beating the Phantom Photon. He is super tough. And something else I have no chance at is to put in my initials correctly. You really need to configure the steering properly. If you want to calibrate the steering and other aspects of the game from the beginning, you want to hit F2 on your keyboard if you're playing this in MAME. And then you press 5 to choose from the different selections, to move the cursor to the different selections. And we are going to go ahead and take a look at the stunt track in just a moment. But yeah, you have to get your time under 1:38 for either the speed track or the stunt track to attract the notice of the Phantom Photon and race them. But yeah, good luck in that. So let's go ahead and look at the stunt track. And like I said, any crash you make, the computer will play back that in a crude rendition and show the way that you crashed. That cow there at that barn on the stunt track, it will moo if you hit it, and we'll look at that later. We'll look at a number of basic crash animations a little bit later. You don't want to take that bridge too fast or too slow. If you take it too fast, you will crash. And if you take it too slow, you will fall in between the bridge. And now this is a loop-de-loop. And as you see the edge of the track there, hook away from it a little bit. Yeah, you can run over the signs, and you'll hear a little smack sound, and the signs will actually be bent over. Some very cool touches on this game, even if it is really unpolished. It's probably more polished in the arcade original than it is here in MAME. MAME probably still has some work to do. And here we are on this rise here. And you don't want to take that too fast, or else you'll fly right off the track and you will crash. In some ways, maybe the stunt track may be a little easier once you get used to the the stunt parts, because once you reach the checkpoint, it will restore enough time, and the finish line will not be far past that. I don't know. I kind of like the stunt track, but yeah, once you complete either the speed track or the stunt track, then you just gotta keep on driving. Just keep driving until you run out of time, and your timer starts with, what was it, like a minute and a half? Race until you either run out of time, or just keep trying to complete more laps, and you might be able to beat your old time, and maybe get a chance at facing the Phantom Photon if that last time wasn't good enough. Yeah, MAME did this, not Bandicam. Yeah, MAME needs to work on this a little bit more. Hopefully they'll get it arcade perfect one of these days. They do a great job overall. I'm really thankful for MAME. But that is both courses of Hard Drivin'. I didn't show me putting the initials in. You already saw that earlier. Now we will see me with a cheat beat the minute 38 time needed to face the Phantom Photon, and we'll go through the finish line. Extended play qualified for championship, or whatever it said. I put on a cheat that negates collisions. You can just go right through the cars. You can bump cars if you're not going fast enough. You can bump into them and propel them forward. Yeah, note that you slowed way down when you go on the shoulder. So we'll scoot forward to me running out of time, but I beat that minute 38, so I will get to face the Phantom Photon. Now, like I think I mentioned earlier, you're supposed to race him on the stunt track. And there it shows the rules. But here I decided to plow through the signs on my way to the speed track. And on the Genesis, it will let you take the speed track and not and still be able to race the Phantom Photon that way. Stop it, MAME. Jeez. It's all glitchy. Stop that. See, I just went right through. I don't know if the game will count that in the arcade version here. Me going the speed track instead of the stunt track. But the Genesis will allow it. The ending will look the same, whether you beat the Phantom Photon this way or on the stunt track, if it does let you, or if you fail to beat the Phantom Photon, it looks the same. The race will automatically end if the Phantom Photon finishes before you, and it'll show like a instant replay of him going through the finish line, and it'll show you too if you were ahead of him or if you were just behind him. There's no there's no checkpoint time restore, because you don't have a timer when you face the Phantom Photon. This really blew my mind when I saw this in the arcade, or actually in the movie theater where I first saw it. Yeah, I was nowhere near him. I mean, I was on the other course, or the other track. Both tracks do eventually meet. named myself PP. And this is the screen you will see if you have beaten the Phantom Photon, or at least I kind of photoshopped the words that appear. You won. You are the new Hard Drivin Champion. And then you get to put in your initials, being recognized as the new Hard Drivin Champion. And I photoshopped this too. But that's what it'll look like, and it'll show your time when you finished. And now, if you hit a cow, you get a moo prize. Sorry, Bessie. I'm moving, jeez. But now, let's look at some crash animations in Hard Drivin. These cracked me up. Oftentimes because there was some major glitchiness in them. Let's look at a collision with a car. It's kind of the same, like if you get rear-ended. You'll see a big crack on the windshield. And hello there. That's messed up. Look how fast I fly backwards. Now we're going to look at me slam into a building. Anybody home? Boom! And this is A Bridge Taken Too Far. It's a pun on a movie, I think, called A Bridge Too Far. But this is me flying over the bridge way too damn fast. It'll make you crash, see? Boom! And this is a bridge taken not far enough. And I fall in between this raised bridge. A little bit more. Oh, excuse me. And there we go. What? And this one is weird. This happened for no particular reason. I didn't run into anything or anything like that. What happened? Well, I would hope that didn't happen in the arcade. I went through the ground. Weird. And this time we're going to see me fail, or I'm going to fly off the loop. See, I didn't hook back to the right. Whoop! Oh, and this time I'm too pooped to loop. I let my speed down way too much while I was on the loop, and you can imagine what would happen. And this one's Mr. Bad Mojo Rising. This is where I take that rise way too fast and I fly right off. Whee! Oh, the sound got a little messed up here, sorry. But at any rate, that was Hard Drivin, game number 7 in our 20 from 1989 series by Atari Games. This is Crazy Clown Ray saying thanks for watching. Hope you join me soon for game number 6. Bye-bye, folks.